Hello everyone. Welcome to the video. I hope you like the text-to-speech just like YouTubers I like, such as Cowbelly. Who knows, maybe if I get to 1000 subscribers I might get on camera and say Gucci Gang 1000 times. Anyway, on with the story. This first story is entitled Little Crap Eats Crab in Aquarium Store and Mum Defends Him. Alright boys and girls, this seems super unbelievable, but when you have been working in the pet trade as a sales associate for long enough in weird areas, you start to see your fair share of entitled kids and shit-stained parents. My first of many stories, so don't be too harsh. For context, I work at a mom and pop pet store in the eastern US, and while my expertise is in aquatics, I try to be a jack of all trades. The day that this happened was rather uneventful until this point, all up until little shit, LS, and pig fucker, PF, entered the store. My store was pretty modest, so it was fairly easy to see customers come in and out, especially in the fish department, so I got first look at this magnificent creatures, a 40-something-year-old woman talking on her cell, her hair obviously dyed blonde and outfit practically screaming midlife crisis while her child was in tow. The kid must have been 7 or 8, the kid playing on his Switch, his shirt covered in what looked like a mixture of pizza sauce, soda, and plenty of mystery stains. At first things were pretty normal, the kid originally not caring about anything in the store while PF was getting enraged at him for not paying attention, though that changed rather fast. PF and LS were near the ferrets when PF took LS's Switch, immediately causing a reaction of screaming and pouting before being distracted by some of the fish over in my department. Alright, a bit of unnecessary information, but the way my store's fish department is set up is that 2/5 ths of it is fresh water, 2/5 ths is equipment, and the rest is salt water. Given we weren't really known for salt water, we only kept pretty generic yet sought after fish like hippotangs, various clownfish, 6-line wrasses, etc. The thing about the first two is because of Finding Nemo, kids are always drawn to the Dories or Nemos. Alright, that all in mind, the first thing LS did was head over to the small assortment of hippotangs we had, practically pressing his shit-covered face against the glass as he yelled out Dory as loud as he could. PF hailed me down from algae scrubbing, and this started the encounter. I like to act casual around the workplace as I find it lowers any sort of anxiety a customer has and makes me way more approachable. First thing out of my mouth was, "Me, hey there, how's your night going? Need help with something?" PF started out our encounter with a roll of the eyes before pointing to the tang and demanding a price with a simple but rude, "PF, how much for this thing?" Was the way she said it that was rude. After shifting gears from a casual standing to a more professional one, I simply told her that the tang was $160, he was a good size tang. Of course she scoffed, but what came next was a bit more worrying. PF pulled out $30 from her purse and placed it on the desk we used to bag fish, saying in an aggravated tone, "PF, that's all you're getting, bag him." Things start to go poorly from here. It's worth noting that it was 9:15 at this point, the store having closed 15 minutes ago, though we make it a policy not to ask customers to leave until 9:30. It was just my manager and myself at this point, my manager in the office closing down registers, so essentially it was like I was the only employee in the store. Seeing PF placing the $30 on the table, I raised an eyebrow before leaning against the wall, simply asking her, "Me, do you have a saltwater tank?" She didn't take this well. She screamed without a second passing, "PF, none of your fucking business, now bag my fish, you cocky little shit." I simply refused and slid her $30 back towards her before she slid it back, now more pissed off. PF, I'm going to get your ass fired if you don't bag my fish right now. At this, LS was getting pissed at the interaction, screaming like a banshee about how he wanted the tang, still referring to it as Dory and beginning to stomp his feet in a tantrum. Soon enough I was asking them to leave. So this is where I fucked up. I should have called the cops at this point, knowing that she wasn't going to leave without a fight. LS was on the floor at this point, pounding his fists to the floor as snot dripped down his face as PF tried to guilt me. PF, sorry sweetie, this guy doesn't want you to have the fish, he's perfectly fine with you having no fish friend to make you happy. At this point she turned back up to me. PF, do you see what you did, you stupid fuck? You are breaking my angel's heart because you're being too much of a Jew to sell me the fish. Internally I was laughing. This kind of situation happened now and again, but the anti-Semitism was a new one. I had figured everything was starting to resolve at this point, though I was mistaken. LS flipped. Shit. You know how some opera singers can break glass with their voice? This kid would have a knack for something like that. LS was screaming as loud as humanly possible at this point as he managed to reach into the tank. At last my manager had made his way out of the office and watching what was going on. LS grabbed a piece of live rock, accidentally grabbing a long spine urchin. Angry screaming turned right to wails of pain as he pulled a rock out of the tank, a poor little pom-pom crab in tow. At this point I was less focused on the kid but more focused on making sure my manager was calling 911, which he did. When I turned around I saw something that still gives me nightmares to this day. The kid had been clutching his hand while his mother tried to help him, something hanging out of his mouth. The poor little pom-pom crab had been crushed by the kid, LS having shoved it into his mouth and chomping down on it, leaving a little claw hanging out of his mouth. The next 2 minutes was a strange combination of astonishment and panic, myself telling the kid not to move his hand since he would break the spines of the urchin while PF began hitting me with her crappy purse screaming that I hurt her kid. Me, your kid shoved his hand into a tank, one with toxic animals nonetheless, fox face rabbitfish, and did this to himself. Calm the fuck down and leave him alone so when the paramedics get here they can get the spines out. PF, how dare you? You expect me to let my angel suffer? If you just sold me the stupid fish this would have never have happened. Me, your kid reached into the tank and ate a crab. What the fuck did you teach this kid? PF, don't you ever tell me how to raise my angel. He had the right to eat that crab, you took something from him and he took something from you. By the end of this interaction the paramedics had arrived, restraining the kid and taking him into an ambulance as the police tried to sort things out. Unsurprisingly PF tried to pin everything on me, saying I threw an urchin at him, WTF. And he ate the crab in a panic. Equally unsurprisingly we had the entire thing on CCTV, including PF hitting me with her purse. Long story short, PF was arrested for aggravated assault as apparently she had stuffed the rock into her bag to give it the extra punch. Didn't notice until after the paramedics saw me that I was bleeding on my leg from the jagged live rock. After getting a statement the cops left, PF and LS going off to wherever the hell the cops took them, and I got out of everything with 8 stitches and a $300 bonus from my boss for handling the situation without anyone getting seriously injured. From what I ended up hearing, the kid had actually got stung by the fox face's dorsal spines and that sent him into a blind rage. The mom got a plea deal and she ended up with a huge fine, some jail time, and some other shit. In summary, I didn't sell a fish, kid flipped shit, grabbed an urchin and ate a crab, got arrested for assault. This was by far the worst situation I had ever had in the store, and I still can't believe the outcome of this till this day. This was 3 years ago now. I was in work the other day when I say a pouting kid over a mom not let him get a hippo tank, and this has been brought to the front of my mind ever since. Wow, just wow, I am honestly speechless. I don't understand why the Americans do this whole plea deal shit that mother let her kid eat a crab and touch an urchin. This bitch should be sleeping with the fishes. Our next story is a tale of mental retardation and why some people should have their children taken from them. This story is called Let My Child Break Your Expensive Toys. I'm a figure collector, $30 to $200 anime statues made of PVC ranging from muscle men to cute anime girls, nothing lewd, so they are displayed in my living room. Cousin's wife CF came over to pick up something. Her child became entranced by my glass display and the toys in them. My display cases have a door that is held closed with a magnet, so they are kind of tough to open without reaching the top. CF gets up and opens one of my displays as I'm carrying the items she needs, and grabs a $160 figure and gives it to her child. At this point I panic, and ask her to put it back in the display as it has gone up in price and I cannot get a replacement. Jokingly. CF, they are just toys, cool loser. Me, they are $100s of dollars toys, again jokingly since I'm very non-confrontational. CF, just let her play with it while you load the bags. I got anxious over it, so I immediately took it away from the child. I couldn't help my anxiety, and since I'm practicing becoming more assertive, I asked her to wait in the truck. She became indignant at my suggestion. CF, just because of your stupid toy, child wanted to play with it, toys are for kids, just give it to her, if she breaks it that's what toys are for. Me, those are my toys, my expensive toys. I sat on the couch and told her she was free to take the bags herself, so she carried child and sat in the truck. As she was leaving, she mentioned that she would tell cousin how rude I was. Cousin texted saying that child should know better and she had been taught not to touch what's not hers without permission. He is very strict with his girls, unlike CF. Remember parents, just because it looks like a toy does not mean your kid should play with it. Always ask first, and if it's a no then a no is a no. Our last story is from r/nuclear revenge. The title is I sent an entitled mother to the ER because she grabbed my girlfriend. I got a $25 gift card from my mom to the local cinema, so my girlfriend and I decided to go see How to Train Your Dragon, Lost World. HTTYD, for context, my girlfriend's a petite beauty from Venezuela, so people sometimes mistake her for a child, but it's usually very obvious that she's an adult by the sound of her voice and the way she acts. It usually results in awkward or sometimes funny moments, but this was not one of those moments. Anyways, we get to the theater without any problems and we patiently waited in line to purchase our movie tickets. We started talking about HTTYD and what dragons we would want to have. She loves Astrid's dragon Stormfly because her favorite color's blue and she likes its ability to shoot spikes. The way she marvels at everything we have here is so adorable, but I also understand that it's because she, in her own words, grew up with nothing. We get to the front of the line and I start purchasing our tickets. I feel a really thick finger tap me on the shoulder. Enter the entitled parent. M. Hey, can you help me out? This lady's tone instantly set off some red flags for me. People who are condescending and / or overly nice generally want something out of you. Me, with what? M. Well, I really wanna see that dragon movie with my little boy and we just don't have enough money today. Her kid is completely silent and he looks like he's 6 to 7 at the oldest. Unfortunately, me and my GF are both broke college kids, so we didn't have too much money to spare. Me, we don't have money to spare. Sorry. Maybe someone else can spare some change. I thought that maybe that would get her to leave us alone, but nope. M, you have money. You're using a gift card. You can just buy the tickets for you and the little girl with cash. Me to the employee while mentally facepalming, can you just take my card real quick, please? She takes my gift card and swipes it. M, stop. He stole my gift card. I look at M like she's on drugs or something. The employee looks at the gift card, which has my name on it, and my name is not a gender-neutral one or Karen. Employee, ma'am, I'm sorry, this might just be a misunderstanding. His gift card does appear to have his name on it. M, I want to speak to your manager, bitch. I can't believe you would defend a thief. He just wrote his name on it. Employee, okay, please wait 1 second, ma'am. She was right in front of us for the entire exchange between us three. GF tugs on my sleeve, babe. What are they saying? English is her second language, so she still has trouble understanding people sometimes. M has a look of pure disgust on her face. Me to GF, Ella es loco. I was being intentionally incorrect with my Spanish. M, what? I should have known that you're a fucking pedophile. She was screaming loudly and people were starting to stare at us. Me. What? I was just shocked that she would say such a thing to my face. I guess she thought my GF was a child. I glance over at my GF, who is starting to look scared and confused. All she knows is that the physical embodiment of insanity is standing before us. M, I won't get your ass arrested for raping that shit skin illegal if you just hand over your fucking gift card. Me, no. Get out of our face. The kid hasn't uttered a peep throughout this entire exchange yet, but he looks scared. M, how fucking dare you make my baby cry? He wasn't, I'm making sure you get arrested and taking your gift card. She reaches for my gift card on the counter, but the lumbering land whale is too slow. I grab it. She's screaming at me to hand over my gift card, but I refuse and play keep away. After what felt like a minute of her screaming at me and calling us both all sorts of racial slurs, she changes tactics, she grabs my GF. M, I'm taking you away from this rapist. My GF's eyes are wide. She struggles and lets out a blood-curdling scream. Hearing that scream was all I needed to see red. I elbowed M with all my might. She hit the ground hard. She was out cold with blood trickling out of her mouth. The only thing that stopped me from going further was her kid's presence. Everyone in the vicinity went silent as M continued to stiffly lay on the ground. Surprisingly, nobody tried to attack me afterwards. The employee was visibly shocked by what just happened. My GF was sitting on the ground, crying, but thankfully unharmed. I tried to comfort her and M's kid started to cry too. Security came a few moments later, followed shortly by the manager. They're greeted by the scene of me kneeling on the ground next to my crying girlfriend, a little kid crying a few feet away next to his unconscious mother, all surrounded by shocked onlookers. They immediately called an ambulance for M. It's clear that she's badly injured. The employee and I explain what happened. The other staff were thankfully nice and understanding and offered us free tickets, but we just took vouchers to another showing instead. My GF just wanted to go home. I felt bad for the kid after what he just witnessed. I gave him a candy bar I was saving for the movie, which seemed to help him relax a bit, but I could tell he was still scared of me. I apologized for hurting his mom and told him that it's wrong to hit people, but sometimes, you have to in order to protect the ones you like. I sincerely hope that he doesn't grow up to be like his mother. I'm not sure what happened to the kid. I gave a police statement later that night, which earned me the nickname as the elbow man at the local department. My girlfriend does not want to press charges, and she's firm on this. I later heard that I knocked out 4 of M's teeth, dislocated the left side of her jaw and gave her a concussion. She likely got the concussion from her impact with the ground. The best part is that I'm guaranteed to win the case against her if she tries to sue me, and I know that she'll have to eat only liquid foods for quite some time, assuming that the info I heard is correct. What is with all these parents who claim to not be able to afford things stealing things? Maybe they could afford nice things if they just stopped trying to steal things and actually save up money instead of wasting it on their brats. Growing up, all I needed was a box of Lego and I'd be fine. Hell, I had a giant bucket of old Lego. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed cringing with me. Remember to leave a like and subscribe and tell me if you liked this.